We all know We Bare Bears, that down to earth, grounded show about these three bears being Ice Bear, Grizz, and Panda that, live in the outskirts of San Francisco, going on adventures and so on. But do you remember Charlie, the Sasquatch Bigfoot, who was always around the bears? Well, if you don't, stay tuned because I'm going to jog your memory. Charlie is a recurring character in We Bare Bears, being the bears' trusted friend and companion, being there when they need him the most. Honestly, growing up watching the show, I like Charlie because of his overly friendly personality, wanting to always lighten up the mood wherever he is, never there being a dull moment when he's around. While scrolling through the tube, I noticed that there weren't any videos done on Charlie and character, and I figured why not be the first. So let's revert back to the past episode. Charlie, where we are first introduced to Charlie being a guest to the bears through this website called Cave Share, which allows strangers to stay at a remote cave for a short period of time. And we see that 1/3 of the bears are elated about this guest, being that Grizz believes this being an easier way to make friends and that money. So back to Charlie. Right off the bat, we see that Charlie is a very nice guy, dapping everybody up with so much joy. Just from this exchange, we can tell that how friendly of a person Charlie is. On the other hand, we see that Panda is pretty uncomfortable around Charlie, being off-put with his overly excited attitude. I can understand Panda to an extent, because imagine having a stranger you don't know come into your house already making themselves comfortable in your room, specifically your bed, and then you're expected to have a smile on your face pretending as if all is well when it isn't. Then we see Charlie interact with the bears, telling them how grateful he is to them for allowing him to stay over, which almost gives us an insight into his experiences in life. Because of course, being a Sasquatch and a Bigfoot, at first sight, people would be scared of him, not wanting anything to do with him. And being a Bigfoot, he would be seen as a spectacle of some sort, having pictures being taken of him and even wanting to capture him for, experimental purposes. It is clear as day that Charlie really does appreciate the bears for almost accepting him, but not quite. Because we still have two unhappy campers in Ice Bear and Panda, because they're still on the edge about him. But Charlie doesn't really take offense to it because he can understand how awkward it could be for a stranger to just come into a house under short notice. So it makes a lot of sense. Then later on, we see that the bears are getting ready to go to bed. And boy, do I feel for Panda, because now he can't even sleep on his own bed because of Charlie, being his guest. Then we get a little dialogue, or at least monologue at first, where we hear Charlie opening up to Panda about his insecurities and how people usually treat him.
I feel insecure because I feel like the fur on my left side is longer than the fur on my right side.
But, like I said, this is more of a monologue because Panda is doing the most he can to, ignore Charlie to get some sleep. But this just establishes how accepted Charlie feels already, opening to Panda about his feelings and thoughts, which he never had the luxury of doing because he wouldn't let people, specifically humans, get close to him due to the constant judging and danger society has put him through. So it's a real cool moment, or it could be because of how friendly he is. Then we get these series of events with Charlie going to the bathroom, constantly coming back to ask Panda how to use so-and-so. And it's just a funny moment. Through the perspective of the bears, we see that, the house is a mess, which can only mean one thing. And we see that Charlie invited some friends over, which is wild. We see that once again, Charlie is making himself at home. Then we see that a bunch of people are surrounding the house due to the appearance of a Bigfoot that they've seen sightings of from footprints and other things. Then we see Charlie immediately hide from them due to not wanting to go through what he's been struggling with, ever since. Because it goes completely left so quick that you just can't help but laugh. Then we cut to the next day as we see but the boy Panda comes to the rescue, making up some story of him having a girlfriend that fits the description of Bigfoot, that they've been looking for. But the boy Charlie comes in clutch, pretending to be his girlfriend, and we see that Panda was actually listening to Charlie opening up, because then he starts listing off a lot of things that he doesn't like about Charlie, including mentioning his insecurities that Charlie has been telling him about,
If she wasn't, how come I know that she's self-conscious about the size of her head? Or that her fur is asymmetrical? Or that she dreams about being a telephone pole?
Which results in Charlie and Panda hugging it out. And making amends with each other, resulting in the people leaving being weeded out. We see that it's time for the boy Charlie to leave, and the bears give him a good send-off. When I watched this episode as a kid growing up, I believed that Charlie was going to be an annoying character throughout the series, but as the series progressed, I realized how interesting his character was. And now that I'm older, I can also understand his character further. Even though this episode did a good job highlighting some factors of Charlie that dealt with the term acceptance, I believe that this episode, to me at least, would do a better job establishing the term. In the season 2 episode Chicken and Waffles, we see that the bears are in a rush because they are getting ready to go to this popular chicken and waffles spot that they've reserved months prior for. This is such a relatable situation, by the way, because growing up, my parents would rush me to get ready because of an important occasion, even though I may have not wanted to go in the first place. Then the boy Charlie pulls up wanting to have a picnic with the bears, but they quickly dismiss him because of their hasty attitude. You gotta feel for the guy, man. Somehow, because imagine wanting to, spend time with the people you consider friends, even family, not having the time to spend with you most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So Charlie is feeling a little desolate about the whole situation, but Panda returns forgetting his phone, but trips on water, ends up breaking his contacts, now being partially blind of some sort, which is absolutely insane. So it is up to Charlie to take Panda to the restaurant, but Charlie is a little reluctant at first, but then concedes. We see Ice Bear and Grizz make it to the restaurant, calling Panda, but Charlie, not knowing how to use the freaking phone like a primitive man that he is, accidentally puts the phone on updating mode, which means no phone for a while. So it's left to Charlie to be the eyes and ears of this whole trip, which the audience, knowing this, it just sets the tone that this episode is going to be a crazy ride, because we know how out of touch Charlie is with the human world, specifically with like technology, so we know we're in for a treat. And then so Panda and Charlie pass through a number of places asking for directions. We see that they are getting closer and closer to the restaurant, and I kind of know what y'all are thinking already, because honestly, I know y'all are thinking, how does this episode, talk about acceptance and the term acceptance, especially with Charlie? But it's towards the end that it would really make sense. So just let me cook for a few more minutes. And so this causes Panda to appreciate Charlie for the first time, saying they make a pretty good team.
Any tree I've ever seen.
You know what, Charlie? We actually make a pretty good team.
Really?
Of course, this doesn't last long, because Charlie ends up, dropping the phone in the sewers, resulting in Panda and Charlie arguing over everything, blaming each other for their mistakes, like a freaking married couple. And then we see that Charlie even lashes out at Panda for never appreciating and acknowledging him.
Well, you're just a big... No, not this time, Panda. You're the dick.
And this is rightfully so, man. I kind of gotta understand Charlie to some degree, because, bro, imagine, having to be the nice guy all the time and people are just stepping all over you. And I like how the writers of We Bare Bears, they're dealing with the term, what's the freaking word, bro? They're dealing with the term pent up aggression, to where, like, for somebody to hold their anger so much that is finally exploding in on them that they can't even control anymore, because it's a very real human element to have as a human. So like, I like how the writers are kind of addressing that through Charlie's reaction and his response to Panda, which is very cool. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Charlie lashes out at Panda for never appreciating and acknowledging him, because yes, even though Charlie messed up, and he messes up a lot of the time, he still tried to help, and that should be all that matters, no matter the result. Then we see that in a imminent crisis, Charlie ends up saving Panda, showing how much he actually cares about Panda. Then we see that they actually made it to the restaurant, and Panda goes in, but not without asking Charlie if he wants to join.
Charlie, it means a lot you coming to the city, and, well, I think it would be nice to have dinner with you instead.
Then we see that Charlie is able to have a picnic, with the guys after all. Charlie is comfortable in his own skin, but never experienced comfort from outside, always being ostracized and forced to hide who he truly is. But he finds solace in the bears, where he can truly embody and display his true self, not caring about judgment nor opinions. Bro, I'm telling you right now, We Bare Bears is so freaking good, bro. I don't know why people don't talk about this show often. It's such a good show. It's up there with Clarence and Regular Creek, like, you know, in being a grounded show that does not take away from, you know, the cartoon element of their whole brand and of the brand of Cartoon Network. Because, you know, shows like Clarence and Regular Creek, for as much of a grounded show that it is, that they are, they're still able to tell a story that is not so boring. They're still able to tell a story that's pretty fun and adventurous, you know, to go on. And We Bare Bears doesn't deviate from that at all. They're able to also tell that similar story that they want to tell, but also they can be fun about it. They don't take themselves too serious because they know they are trying to appeal to a younger demographic, which I can totally respect and get behind. Yeah, man, Charlie is a really, really interesting character, and I just want people to talk about him more because he's just such an underrated character in the show, and he really embodies the term acceptance, because, you know, it can be relatable to a lot of people growing up, not feeling accepted, having like existential crisis, or like having insecurities about who they are. So I like how Charlie is supposed to be like that embodiment of people's emotions and insecurities of not being accepted. And we know that he's so persistent in wanting to be friends with the Bears. Sometimes he can be kind of annoying to them, and the Bears may not want to like hear him out or talk to him or whatnot. But at the end of the day, they know that that's just the type of person that he is, and they just love him for who he is. And it's such a cool moment. It's such a cool interaction between them. Yeah, man, bro, my voice, I was really sick this entire week. That's why I haven't been posting videos like that. And I just want to tell you a happy new year, man. I know it's pretty late, but I want to just thank y'all for the support that you guys showed me this year. Like, you guys have been absolutely amazing, and God bless y'all. Jesus loves y'all, man. And man, I just hope that this community can grow to its, you know, insane heights. It's only up from here, man. It's 2025, bro. I promise to like make new content for y'all. Trust me, guys, I'm going to deliver. I promise y'all. It was like guys. Thank you guys for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do anything, bro. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll try to be more consistent this time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.